So, Jeff, are you ready?
Think so. Yeah, I'm ready.
Excited?
Are you ready? Let's do this.
Let's do this. Let's do it together.
Good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Usman. I'm the founder at RepairDesk. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. Our topic for our webinar today is how to set up the most fun Black Friday ever in 2022. I'm really terrified by looking at my picture. I recently got my teeth fixed, but yeah, like I said, I'm Usman, founder at RepairDesk. I started RepairDesk back in 2014. And I'll not talk a lot about myself because I would like my one of our favorite customers, Jeff, to talk a little about himself because I really like his story, his family, and what he has achieved in the repair industry. Over to you, Jeff.
Hey, thanks, Usman. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here talking to everybody. I'm Jeff Sandridge, obviously, and I own the Smartphone Medics in Huntsville, Alabama. And we've been around about 10 years now and started using RepairDesk as our POS system. When they first came out, I believe, we were probably using the beta version, working all the bugs out for the rest of you guys. But now it's a great product, and it really helps us to be more productive and successful, I believe. But we've achieved a lot of success with the business, and I contribute that to many factors. One of which is, my great team of employees, the great vendors and companies that I work with, like RepairDesk, and also just God, because God has definitely blessed me and my business and everything that we've done. But I would like to try and share some of the knowledge and success. We've become $1 million last year, over 1.5 million total dollars in revenue, and so that's I guess a lot of success for the repair industry and electronic stores in general, at least small businesses. So I want to try and impart some knowledge and help some people to be able to get to that level. I've been doing a little bit of coaching and mentoring to try and help small businesses recently, and just got back from San Antonio, where we did a speech on the success of the store and trying to help other people. But specifically today, I want to be talking about Black Friday, because we always do these big events, big sales, and try and make it a really fun and enjoyable thing for the community, where we kind of give back to people. And we've had a lot of success with that in recent years, but it wasn't always that successful. And so today I'd like to talk a little bit about how we got to where we are, and how, some of the pitfalls and hurdles that we had to get over and through just to get to where we are now. And hopefully I can help some of you all to be able to avoid some of those things and to be able to kind of get to that next level and just experience some of the success and fun that we've been having. So
thank you so much, Jeff. You are thank you so much for the great introduction. Love how you said that you did 1.5 million in sales, and one of the things I've noticed in electronic repair store, as soon as their store is doing $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 in sales, they go and open a new store, which add a lot of complexity. You have to hire more staff, but one thing that you did really well is that you continue to invest more in your store, in your team, and trying to grow, and with just one store, which is amazing. So yeah.
Well, thank you.
Up next, we'll talk about what's the Black Friday shopping trend. I got my phone over here because I got a lot of stats, and let's go with these stats so that gives some context to our audience on what are some shopping trends during 2021, so which was a lot more exciting compared to where we are today, because things are not looking good in 2022 because of our upcoming recession and things like that. But in 2021, businesses made an estimated $30 to $40 billion in sales on Black Friday, out of which there were 155 million shoppers in the United States on Black Friday, and the shoppers spent $8.9 billion online. So that's pretty much 30% of the sales were online, whereas 70%, which is a huge percentage, were still offline. 43% of these Black Friday sales were through mobile phones. So that explains the importance of having a mobile optimized online store and all the good stuff. Now, there are some stats which are very interesting related to the repair industry. In during 3 days of Black Friday, repair stores in using RepairDesk made an average of $1.8 million in sales. However, average Black Friday sale for self-repair shop in the US on 26 November 2021 was just $1,100 in the US. And that's why we decided to do this webinar, so we can guide repair shops how they can do it better this year and the next year. So with that, Jeff, since you started talking to a lot of repair shops, you've seen them commenting in the groups as well. What do you think are some challenges repair shops normally face during Black Friday?
That's a good question, Usman. I've seen several different issues, and it kind of depends on what phase or what stage each business is in at any particular time. But as I've been coaching business owners and talking to more of them recently, I've seen a few trends and a few things, and there's things that I've done myself in the past that have held me back, and that I've seen holding other people back. One of the first and most important things I would say is not even trying. As far as Black Friday, I see a lot of stores, a lot of repair shops and things that are just like, Black Friday is not for me. You know, you got to compete with the big companies. It's not going to work out. I'm not even going to try. Or the next thing to that is they may run like some little sale, you know, like 20% off repairs or $10 off or something like that. But they're not going to advertise it well. And even if they did advertise some little sale like that, it's not going to do a whole lot of good because, like we said, you're competing with the biggest stores out there. And those are mistakes that I made in the first place. You know, I would either not do it. At first, I see a lot of stores that are just like, we're just going to be closed on Black Friday. That's, you know, an extra Thanksgiving Day or whatever, because we're not going to make any sales anyway. But to me, and something we realize is that has potential to be the biggest day of the year. We can do in that one day what some stores take a month to do, or even more than that. So it's extremely important, I feel like, to try and do it, especially because you're coming out of the slow months. October and November are some of the worst months of the year as far as retail and things like that go. But once it gets to Black Friday, people are ready to spend money, like you just accounted with all those numbers that you threw out. You know, people are ready to shop for Christmas. They're looking for deals. They know that Black Friday is a time to get deals. So they're trying to find good deals. But one of the keys to being successful is that you have to have really good deals that are actually going to compete with all these other big stores. Because yes, you're competing with Best Buy and Apple and Amazon and online stores. You're trying to get people to actually physically come to your store when they could be going to any of these other stores. And that is quite a challenge for a little store or somebody just starting out or anything like that. Any small business in general, it's going to be extremely challenging to get people to show up on Black Friday. And that's why a lot of people don't do well and fail or don't even try. But I've learned a lot of things over the years through failures how not to do things. So then I eventually learned how good ways to do things. And I've tried a lot of things and found the best ways to actually be able to choose good deals in the first place that are actually going to catch people's attention and bring them in. And then possibly even more importantly than that is advertising in the proper ways that are going to get attention, because you can have the best deals in the world. And if you don't advertise it to the same level, at least, that all these other stores are advertising in your area, then it doesn't matter, because nobody's going to see those ads. Nobody's going to know about your deals, and they're still going to go to the other places. So it's kind of like a trifecta of several different things thrown together, but I'd like to try and, present all those things and help you guys to to figure that out so that we can hopefully all have successful Black Fridays. So.
Hopefully. Thank you so much. So you mentioned that, some, just to, reiterate, challenges are repair shops are not planning for the Black Friday. They are not advertising good deals compared to other box retailers. They are not executing it well. They're not advertising it enough. So yeah, that's helpful. Now, let's move on how was how was your Black Friday in 2017? Any idea do you have what was your number in 2017?
Yeah, I think it wasn't too great in 2017. That was around the first time that we even tried to do a Black Friday, I would say. And I think we may have made like $2,000 total. I don't remember the exact number. I don't have it here, but yeah, so things didn't go very well the first year or two or three that we tried to do it. I would say the first year, maybe in 2017, we decided to have deals and we advertised a little bit or whatever, but it wasn't enough. The deals weren't good enough and the advertising wasn't big enough. And, not that many people showed up. It was just like a little bit busier than an average day. That didn't work out so well. So we learned from that. And so in 2018, I believe we stepped it up quite a bit and we said, okay, we got to have better deals. So we're like, what kind of deals can compete with other big box stores and things like that? And that's when we started implementing having like free items and things like that, and advertising it a lot better. So in 2018, I think was our first semi-decent year, but we still messed up because we didn't execute correctly and we didn't know how to do it, because we ended up having a nice line, all the way around the building, lots of people there before we opened, waiting to get the deals and the free items and things like that. Problem is that I didn't execute it well and didn't know exactly how it was going to work. So we had all the free items. I think we did like free JBL speakers, Bluetooth speakers or something that year. And we didn't have any stipulations on that or anything. We had them out there in the lobby just so that they were available. So we let people in the door and it was kind of just like chaos and pandemonium. Everybody just rushed in, grabbed Bluetooth speakers, grabbed as many as they wanted and ran out the door. And as they're running, yeah, and they didn't buy anything. And, they're running out the door. And as they're running, they're like, they're all out. And so everybody in the line, at that point, it's just like, oh, wow. And so they just turn around and leave. And so that one didn't go that well. We still had people coming in through the day and we made sales and things like that. But that was not at all how we wanted it to go, obviously. So we learned from that as well. So the next year we implemented a system so that we would actually have the free things behind the counter, and people had to make a purchase of X amount of dollars in order to obtain those free items. And then we implemented a ticketing system to create order within the line that we hand out and things like that before people would even get in the door. And it made things run a lot more smoothly and helped us to be a lot more profitable, obviously, than that. Mm-hmm. So, but I'd say between, we went from 2016, 2017 to hardly making any profit, maybe breaking even, to last year when we made like 33,000. So a lot has happened in those few years. Yeah, as you can see, that was our crowd from last year, and I think it was a little bit bigger than that, and I couldn't even get them all in the picture. So, but there's been a lot of things that we've learned, and I think there's a lot that goes into it. It takes a lot of planning. It's not easy by any means, and I want everybody to understand that. If to pull off something like what you're seeing in the picture, it's definitely not easy. But some of the things I'm teaching you and some of the things that I can teach you, later as well, can definitely help you to be able to pull those types of numbers and to have a fun environment, a fun event. And that's what we've kind of been focusing on more the last few years, is like how to make it fun and make it more of a like customer appreciation day, so that we're actually giving back to the community and thanking people for supporting us throughout the year, our loyal customers. And so we're offering lots of free things. We're offering food trucks, and my daughter sets up a lemonade stand and bake sale, and we have fun activities and giveaways and raffles throughout the day, and things like that. So we just try and make it a fun experience for everybody involved. And so far the community's really been liking it, and the word is kind of spread a little bit. Oh, they do these really cool Black Friday events and have these great deals and things like that. But we advertise all of that a lot as well. And so that's definitely one of your main things that you need to do, but you have to do it in the right ways.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I will like to plug in some numbers. I hope I don't get sued from the smartphone medics. So in 2017, uh, uh, Jeff did $2,000, and then once he learned a little about how to pull this off, they did $13,000 in 2018. In 2019, they did $17,000. Good job, Jeff. And then in 2020, they did a whooping $26,000 in just one day, which is amazing. And last year they did $33,000. So kudos to you, Jeff. And I hope during this year you'll be able to do something close to $33,000 or even more. You've been working hard with our team on how to do great things during November 26th. Now, one of the one of the things that our audience would love to know is, and these are the numbers. Thank you so much, Lena, for adding it. Is we would love to learn a bit more about your framework that you applied. Let's say, talk to me like a 10-year kid. Obviously, I have my 80 years daughter, but yeah, just explain to me step by step. Let's say if I run a repair store and it's my first year, second year, and I want to do launch Black Friday, and there are 10 to 15 days left. How should I go about it, or how would you go about it?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question as well. And I actually have just put together a Black Friday workflow, my whole workflow, because it's actually a whole lot of steps and a whole lot of work. And I usually start, towards the beginning of the month. But you can still pull it off even at this point in time if you do the right things. Maybe it's not going to be the hugest ever, but it could still be very good and very profitable. Because to properly do a huge Black Friday, you really need to be working on it all year in some forms and fashions, as far as sourcing devices, getting deals, figuring out what deals you're going to do, things like that, and planning things. But even starting at this point is a great time. But if anybody does want my workflow, be free to contact me, or anybody who signs up for a sales consult, a mentoring consult, gets that for free, and that'll help you. But it's 3 pages long, so it's a lot of stuff. But I'm going to try and break it down for you right now in the simplest form, like you said, for a 10-year-old, I guess. But so first thing, especially if you're going into it right now with 2 weeks left, the first thing you want to do is pick your deals, and you're going to need some deals that are going to really be eye-catching. So you're going to have to figure out, what are some popular devices, and what are some things that are going to really catch people's attention. If you're not doing device sales, then you need to be doing device sales, because it's all about retail as far as Black Friday. Yeah, we do a few repairs, and if that's what you're marketing, you could do a lot of repairs on Black Friday. But if you want to hit high numbers, you have to do device sales. You have to be offering leasing plans and payment options and things like that. But once you're selling devices, we sell all types of devices: iPhones, MacBooks, watches, game systems, gaming PCs, drones, everything that's popular, that people are buying, that people want, we sell. And then we try and offer the best possible deals that we can on all of those items. And you want to make a flyer as soon as possible. That's going to be your number one. So I think if you reach out to Usman and his team, they can probably help you design a flyer. If if you need additional help, reach out to me and I can help or refer someone as well. But you want to create very eye-catching and very simplistic graphics so that you can tell what deals you have. And I would recommend having like some free items, free with purchase of whatever amount you want to set, things like that, that are really going to, now you want to make sure it's actually things people want. Because in the past we've tried, you know, like we're going to do, you know, free phone cases or free something, you know, tempered glass. And it's like, people don't really care about, that's nice. Sure. Maybe they show up for that. But you know, like recently we've been doing free AirPods with the $69 purchase, or free wireless chargers, or this is what we're doing this year, and a few other things like that, just to really like spark interest. That's what I'm talking about, competing with the other big box stores and other businesses out there. You know, they're not offering free things for the most part, you know, so that's how we compete. So just do, you know, extremely cheap or free on certain items. And those are going to be what you call your loss leaders. You may not make money on those things. You may even lose money on those things, but just factor that into your advertising budget and have a limited quantity of those things, so you know exactly how many you're going to lose money on or whatever. And then use those to bring people in and to create a buzz about your whole sale and have good deals on everything, so that when those first deals are out, you can tell them about another deal, and you know, you can make another sale of something else. So make sure that you're well stocked up is the second part of that. So after you have your deals worked out, after you have your flyer designed, your graphic design, it looks good, make sure that you're stocked up. And that's what I talked about, like, as far as sometimes it could take all year if you really want to do it the best you can and have the highest profit margins that you can. Be searching for devices all year long and buying them and storing them or whatever you need to do. But even now, you can reach out to suppliers. I've got several suppliers that I work with. I have a vendor list that I'm going to be giving out to any of the people that sign up for my consultations, and it'll give you the best places that you can purchase devices from. I highly recommend Tony Baker at GSM Warehouse. He has a lot of devices at good prices, and there's many other people for all the devices that we sell that you can find, so that you can source these devices and stock up. And you want to have enough of them. That was a mistake that we made one year, is you know, we advertised the heck out of it. We had great deals, and we only had, you know, one or two of all the items that were, because we didn't even expect, you know, a huge crowd. And then the people showed up and we were out of everything within the first, you know, 30 minutes or hour. And so the rest of the day, we're like having to tell everybody, sorry, we're out. And you really don't want to do that, because you're just throwing away money at that point. So make sure that you're stocked up on any of the deals that you're having that you think are going to be popular, and then anything else that you know, you want to push or sell, just to have a good selection, a good inventory, so that anybody's coming in looking for anything on Black Friday, you're going to have that available. And then the third part, like we talked about earlier, is advertising. You want to advertise like crazy, and that's the best way that I can put it. RepairDesk Digital can help you with that. They do a lot of ads for me and things like that, whether it's website SEO or Facebook ads. They can help with Google ads, whatever. So reach out to them if you need help with your advertising, or reach out to me, because I can help you, tell you specifically what directions and what ways to advertise in that are going to be the most productive, because I've tried them all. And I know now what avenues are the best and what works and what doesn't. And that's a learning curve that costs a whole lot of money, because you can spend, you know, tens of thousands of dollars advertising on things that aren't actually going to bring you sales. So it's very important where you spend your money. But, you know, we have a very large advertising budget for Black Friday, because like I said earlier, you're competing with the biggest stores out there, and they have immense advertising budgets. So you want to try and focus locally, obviously, so that you don't have to compete at the same level that they're doing, but you still have to pour a lot of money into it and a lot of footwork because there's free ways that you can advertise too. And I can tell you guys about that at another point too. But you're going to have to put a lot of money, a lot of time and effort into the advertising. But I definitely recommend getting the advertising out there as soon as possible. 2 weeks is a great time to start your ads, which is where we are today. So I recommend getting those flyers made, picking those deals, and getting your ads out as soon as possible, at least a week before Black Friday. But I'm going to be dropping my ads after this call. So, but that's those are the main three things that you can do to pick up your sales right now as fast as possible, I would say.
Sure. I know. I mean, we will be sharing Jeff link, so Jeff calendar link, so you can book a call, and then he can set up a one-on-one with Jeff to learn more about how perhaps he can help you create a customized Black Friday plan as well. But what's the most? Where do you see that one of the most one of the avenue which repair stores are not using today to advertise their Black Friday deals, and that has worked for you? I'm sure
Okay.
it is not yet, but yeah, I mean, would love to learn a bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. Well, like I said, we've done many different things, and we still continue to do many different things, because I don't feel like it's any one specific form of advertising is going to get you the results that you want. So we try and hit it from many different angles. Like I've got obviously, Facebook is going to be one of the easiest and most straightforward ways that you can advertise, and that's a big one in general. So that's why you want to have your flyers designed so that you can create those Facebook ads and push them out there, put some actual money behind it. And then there's many different ways to advertise on Facebook, not just one ad. We run multiple different ads in many different forms to many different targeted audiences, and that's something that takes a little bit of practice to figure out how to do as well, to target the right audiences and to use the right formats and things like that. But other than Facebook, we do tons of stuff. We've done YouTube videos. We've got billboards right now. We're doing digital billboards in several different places around the area on the most busy road that's by our store. And we're doing it the good thing about digital is that we can do a different display for every deal that we're having. So they run 25 different ads for us that are in rotation, basically. So for the next 2 weeks, people are going to be seeing those as they drive down the road. And we've done radio, and that can be pretty successful overall. But you usually kind of want to get that started a little bit earlier than 2 weeks out. Obviously, you can advertise on Google. It's not the most bang for your buck, I would say, as far as Black Friday, because then again, you're competing with all the biggest companies in their market at that point, and people aren't searching Google for Black Friday for the most part. They're just going about their lives, and you have to intersect their lives with your advertisement. You have to get their attention, basically. So be thinking about it like that. How can I get their attention? So we've done road signs, that we put up ourselves. That's a free thing that you can do to just advertise your sale. Banners and things by the road by our store. We like to do giveaways on Facebook. That gives a lot of attention and is another way to kind of give back to the community and things like that. Creating events for it online, advertising in local groups, and things like Nextdoor and all the Facebook local groups, things like that are good ways that you can advertise it as well. But considering even doing the TV or I don't know what you call them, the little tracks that are inside the newspaper on Black Friday where you see all the deals of Best Buy and things like that. We didn't get in on that early enough this year. We'll be doing it next year because, like I said, that's one of the ways that you just compete with all the biggest business. You got to be where they are, and you have to be offering better deals and getting as much attention as them. So that's kind of the key to that. And it can be a little bit risky because you feel like you're putting a lot out there because you're spending all this money on devices to have a good inventory. You're spending all this money on advertising, and you're like, I don't know if people are going to show up or not on Black Friday. But from my experience, every time that you do this, you put in the work, you put in the advertising, they show up, and it always pays off for us anyway. Like we have a great day, we have a great time. That's the more important thing, I feel like, too, is just having fun with it, and which is why this is titled, the title of this webinar is How to Have Fun, the most fun Black Friday, because I just like it to be an enjoyable experience for all of the customers that show up, for my family. Like I said, my daughter sets up a lemonade and bake sale stand here at Black Friday, and she donates all the proceeds to the local animal shelter, and people get behind that. People really like that. And we'll have food trucks. This year, we're going to have a coffee truck because it's cold sometimes here in Black Friday morning. Last year, we just handed out coffee to the people waiting in line because everybody was cold, and everybody was, super grateful and really happy about that. But just have activities, fun things going on so that it's just an enjoyable experience, and it looks like fun when you're advertising. It doesn't look like you're just having a sale. It looks like it's an experience. It looks like it's an event. And so we try and market it as a customer appreciation day almost, instead of, a sale.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And I believe one thing that would be really helpful. Obviously, you have summed up really well. But if someone has your checklist and then you set up a customized plan for them, which they can follow by working closely with you, I believe that will really, really help the audience. And we will be sharing the link to Jeff call as well, so they can book a call, because I know everyone wants to save some money, but you're gonna spend a lot of money to buy these devices, stock these devices, and if you're doing it with a mentor who has done it already, there's a proof as well that and he shares his screenshots of how the Black Friday sales were. So if you do it by joining Hatch with Jeff, I believe that will really, really be helpful for the stores. May not be this year, but next year, because it's a process. You have to get started from somewhere. Jeff, we still have some time. I would love to know, what are some deals you plan to run during this year? If you can, spend 3-4 minutes on that, so people get an idea on, because some people may struggle with, just like you mentioned, they want to give out tempered glass, which people appreciate, but a tempered glass is just for 20 cents or 50 cents or $1. So, what are some crazy deals you're gonna offer to get customers in your store?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, we're still doing the AirPods, free AirPods with any $69 purchase. That's one of our most popular the past few years. People love that. We've done lots of stuff in the past, free Google Home Minis and free Alexas and free Bluetooth speakers and things like that. And all of those things have been pretty successful. The AirPods are probably the most successful because those cost $120, $150 retail. So you're getting a really good deal if you're getting them for free and spending $69. So but that's one of our doorbusters. You have to get here pretty early to be able to get some of those. We do have a good amount of them in stock, because we don't want people to be upset and be like, I came for the AirPods and you're out or whatever. But that's why we have lots of other deals too, and lots of other free items with purchase. For example, we have a free wireless charger, a Mophie wireless charger. That's a $50 value, and it's free with any purchase this year. So you could come in, buy a case of tempered glass, it doesn't matter what it is, and you're going to get a free Mophie case. Or if you buy a device, you're going to get a free Mophie case. A Mophie charger, wireless charger, not case. That would be cheap. Nobody would care about that. But a wireless charger, those are popular right now, and that's a good brand and things like that. Brands matter as well. As I've learned in the past, like we've advertised, free off-brand something from China in the past or whatever, and nobody cares about that for the most part. Like, so offer something that people have heard of, people know what it is, people like, people want. Another thing that we're doing this year is free iPad mini or free Chromebook with any $99 purchase. So that's a really good deal if people are looking for things, devices for their kids, or just something to use for browsing the internet or school or whatever. That's a good one that we can offer. They don't cost us a ton at this point because they're not the newest devices, but they still function, and they are popular with kids and families and things like that, or college people to a certain degree. So I like having those deals that you can fall back on. So if somebody's coming for AirPods for $69, if we sell the first however many we have of those and we're out, then basically at that point, you don't want somebody being like, oh, you're out, I'm leaving. So then you say, well, we're out of the AirPods right now, but we still have the free Mophie wireless charger, or we have the free iPad or Chromebook. Which one of those would you like? And they're like, oh, okay, well, this is cool. I'm still getting something free. And so they'll still come in and purchase something. And a lot of those things, like the wireless charger, we stocked up and got a bunch of those. So pretty much everybody that comes in all day will be able to get those wireless chargers, most likely, unless we have a huge crowd in the beginning. But so that's something that we can offer, because that was something that's always kind of an issue after, the initial rush that maybe lasts an hour or 2, 3, whatever it may be. People will come in later that day and be like, hey, I'm here for the free AirPods. And we're like, no, that happened a long time ago, bro. You missed that. And they're like sad or whatever. And so I wanted this year to be able to have something that everybody that comes in late for those deals and be like, well, we sold that, but we still have this. And they'll be like, okay, great. Well, and I just have to buy anything. And those are sales that we wouldn't have made otherwise. That would have been people that would just been upset and maybe walked out or something because we didn't have the specific thing they were looking for. But other than that, I mean, we have really good deals on everything. We have iPhones starting at $149. We have iPads starting at $149. $20 off of gaming systems, and we're one of the only places that will have things like PS5s and Xboxes because they're sold out everywhere. So having those payment plans and those leasing options helps with those larger purchases, so that people can be able to get those types of things in time for Christmas and be able to surprise somebody with them or whatever. But
amazing. Yeah, I mean, I wish Jeff had a store in Pakistan. I would definitely buy something. Now, a follow-up question on that is, so you have all these amazing deals for people who will visit your store. What about online? Because 43% of the sales are online. Will you be running something on your online store as well?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, because that is our goal. We have, in the past, what we have done is we haven't focused online in the past on Black Friday. But what we will do is we run a whole weekend sale, because we put all this time and effort into it, stock up on all these devices and do all this advertising. So on all of our marketing materials, we say it's a weekend sale. So because Saturday is Small Business Saturday and Monday is Cyber Monday. So we run all the sales and deals all weekend until Monday, close or whatever. And what we'll do is, on Friday afternoon, when we do like the MacBook giveaway, something like that, we'll say, okay, we're extending all of our deals into the Saturday, Small Business Saturday. Everybody come see us. We still have this deal left and this deal left and this deal left. Come get those deals today or whatever. And then we extend to Cyber Monday, and we usually post online on a store or whatever we had, still available at that point, so that we can push those deals online. And then we'll start advertising online and say, we have this deal coming out today. We have this deal coming out today. And people will start shopping online for Cyber Monday. And we've had pretty good success doing that. But something we wanted to change this year was to actually be able to run sales on Black Friday on our online store. And what held us back in the past is we weren't able to sync our inventory. with RepairDesk, like I said, I use RepairDesk, and it helps us a ton to be able to keep track of everything and to be able to check customers out quickly and to track all of our sales and know how we're doing and make sure that we're actually making a profit instead, because that's something I get asked a lot, like, oh, that's great that you did 32,000, but did you lose money because you gave everything away for free or something like that? And the answer to that is no, we didn't. And I know that because I can check in RepairDesk and see our profit for that day and say, oh, we actually made a really good profit that day, even though we gave things away for free, and things like that. So, but what I wanted to be able to do in order to sell on Black Friday is our team is so maxed out on Black Friday because, I mean, it's our busiest day of the year. We're not necessarily equipped to handle that type of crowd, you know, the business that you get in an entire month in one day. You know, we have to work out very good systems in place to be able to handle that crowd that day, in a productive manner. And that's something we learned over time too, because, you know, we've gotten overrun and to the point that people had to wait so long to check out that they would just walk out and say, forget it. And because the line's 20 people long. And so we've worked out lots of systems, and RepairDesk helps with that as well, because we've got multiple registers, multiple terminals at this point, and even have like mobile options on iPads and things like that, so that our employees can walk around and be checking people out, seeing what they need. And we can have multiple stations where we're like making that system go a lot faster and a lot better. But what held us back from doing online on Black Friday is that it happens so fast and so crazy. We don't have any extra employees to handle anything. So we couldn't update inventory on a website. If we sold something in the store, then we could sell it online and we wouldn't have it. So what we needed was the ability to synchronize our inventory with what we actually had on hand in a real-time format. And the way that we're able to do that, what we're working towards with Usman and RepairDesk is they have redesigned my website at this point and redesigned my online store, which is going to be hopefully live in a couple of weeks. And they're working on a integration that will sync the inventory in a live fashion, so that the minute we sell something in our store physically, it'll take it out of our online store and we won't sell it to that person. You know, they won't be there or whatever for the people online. So I think that that's going to help us a whole lot. And this will be our first year kind of experimenting with that, thanks to RepairDesk working with us and developing a new product that's really going to help us. And I think a lot of stores, if they want to start getting into that online space, this is definitely a direction that you're probably going to want to go in. So.
Thank you so much for the shout out. Yeah, I mean, really excited to launch your online store and see how it goes. Obviously, it's a learning curve as you start, a new project. One thing I would also like to mention is when you think about advertising, and a lot of repair stores, when they think about advertising, they forget about all the data they have in their POS system, which is RepairDesk. So let's say if you're working with 2,000, if you already have contacts of 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 store customers, use that data. You can give a call to these customers. You can send an email blast. You can send a SMS blast to them, and that has a very simple email that, hey, you came into our store, we fix your device, we are running some amazing deals, this, would you be interested or know someone who you think would be interested? Thank you so much for using our service, and make them be part of that community. What on our end we will be doing is that we will share that email template with you guys. We will share some sample graphics which we did in the past for our customers. We'll be launching a toolkit, but that toolkit will be slightly generic. I haven't run a Black Friday sale. Yes, I've done that for software, but not for a repair store. So if you want to learn how to do it properly and make more money, book a call with Jeff. If you book a call with Jeff, you'll get $50 off. And then my colleague Lena will be sharing a link with to book a call. Lena, would you be kind enough to share a link?
Well, she's doing that, Usman. I'm glad you brought that up about the targeting your already customer base, because that's something we just did yesterday and today. Basically, we and that's something that's so important about Black Friday in general that people don't even think about a lot. It's not necessarily about, making as much sales or profit as you possibly can, because if you're getting the contact information, you're making lifelong customers. If you give them a good experience on that day, and you have their email and things like that, you can market to them all year round forever, and you've made yourself a lot of business, a lot of long-term customers. But we've built a huge email list and SMS text list through RepairDesk, because we enter everybody's information every time they come in. And then RepairDesk has those awesome features that lets us send a bulk SMS text to all of our customers that have been in the past 6 months or year or all time if we want to. And we just sent out a text blast last night, or it's going out today. I think the text blast is going out today. We sent out an email where we utilized every one of the contacts that we've gotten over the past 10 years through RepairDesk, and told them about our Black Friday sale and all the some of the things. And we're going to continue marketing to them with email campaigns. As we get closer to Black Friday, we're going to do more and more of that. So I think that's going to be that's something that's awesome, that I love about RepairDesk, is that you can set those automated things like you were talking about, to just send every customer a message, offer them a coupon, offer them, to come in for this, or referral, ask about a review, whatever you want to ask about. And you can automate that, and people like it for the most part. When, I've got a automated message that goes out when anybody gets a repair or buys a device that just says, hey, this is Jeff. I was just checking in to make sure everything was good with your repair. Let me know how it's going. And, people reply to that, and they're, thanks, Jeff, for checking in. This really means a lot. Everything's great, things like that. And then from there, you can easily be like, oh, if your experience was good, could you leave us a review? Or you can go back with, and you send another automated message. It's like, well, here's 20% off your next visit, or a case, or a tempered glass, or whatever. And then that's another, reason for them to come back into your store. So you can target all these people, multiple times, and it helps. Like they enjoy it. It's not a bad thing. So
yeah, amazing. So we have Jeff link in the chat as well. We have a couple of questions from, looks like Shamal has one of the question. If we can, I know, you have to log into RepairDesk, but what's the breakdown of sales in 2021 in terms of accessories, device sales, and repairs? You mentioned that repairs, your primary focus is devices, but then in general, if what's the breakdown in percentage
for Black Friday specifically?
Yeah.
Okay. I think last year we probably did like 15 repairs. And in fact, we actually end up kind of turning down or pushing off a lot of repairs because we're so focused on device sales that day. So from the get-go, we're like, okay, we're only doing iPhone screens and batteries at this point, anything that we can do very quickly and easily. And so because we don't have, like I said, we don't have enough employees to be, maxed out to that degree. Like we have to have all hands on deck as far as actually helping the customers who are coming in the store. So we can't have somebody wrapped up for 2 hours doing a back glass or, a MacBook repair or something like that. So basically what we do is we try and make it obvious to everybody from the get-go. Like if you have these repairs, come over here to this line. You don't have to wait on everybody else. We'll kind of try and get you in and out pretty quickly as far as iPhones and, things like that. But other things like iPads or back glass or whatever, it's like, well, just leave it with us and we'll take care of it by tomorrow for you. Or we'll give them a rain check and be like, well, you still get your $20 off your repair. Just bring it in tomorrow, and something like that. Or we'll even take a deposit on it and just tell them to bring it back on another time. but basically we explain, I'm sorry, we just don't have the time to do this today. And they can tell that as well, because you have a lobby full of people, and all this, crazy stuff going on, but everybody's understanding. And then that helps to continue that business onto Saturday, Small Business Saturday, and onto Monday, and things like that. We'll be getting, rain checks from Black Friday into the next week, basically. And that really helps as well. But we'll also tell people, anybody that's calling about things in advance, we'll kind of warn them in advance that Black Friday isn't the best time to have, advanced repairs done or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's very helpful. Now, you talked about you have, some of your team members have an iPad, and then they're using that iPad to check out customer. How many counters do you have in your stores?
Well, we have two registers that are there all the time, running the RepairDesk terminals. And then we make the office another station on Black Friday for people doing leasing and things like that take longer, so they can come in the office, kind of work it all out at another terminal. And then, like I said, we've had an iPad where someone's, running around and checking everybody in. And we'll get every customer to check in before they even get up to the front of the line, so that we already have all their information in RepairDesk and it's ready to go. And we know what they want even at that point, because the person with the iPad can already go, find out what they want, add it to the list. So when they do get up to a register, all they have to do is check out, and it's a very quick process. And we've already, made sure that we got their information correctly and things like that. We'll do that in the very beginning when people are waiting in line. We can walk down the line and hand out tickets for things, get them to enter their raffle tickets for the giveaways we're going to do, and then get them to sign in on the iPad.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. We have Jonathan Strange from Montgomery, Alabama. He has a repair store, Exi Repair. Probably he's 21, 22, I believe. I mean, he started when he was in college, doing a really good job. He gave you a shout out. He has visited your store. Now, then we have Tarun. He says that I have a lot of used desktop and laptops that ranges from $100 up to $700. He's saying that laptops are selling, but desktops are kind of stuck. Any strategies you can recommend on desktops?
Yeah, we don't sell a lot of desktops in general. We primarily just focus on laptops. We primarily focus on MacBooks, but we will sell, Chromebooks and a few other, things that we get in, if we get good deals on it, things like that. We sell gaming PCs though, and those sell pretty well, as long as you, custom build them and make them look really, really cool and kind of decked out. Then they get a lot of attention, and we can sell those really easy. But I mean, right now, I just don't think many people are wanting desktops that much, unless it's like Mac desktops and they're really into like creative processes and things like that. They need like a really robust machine to do a lot of things. But everybody that we see pretty much wants MacBooks or things like that, maybe a Chromebook. But
Got it. Yeah, that's super helpful. And do you get your game console from DNH? We struggle to find decently priced game console. Guys, I mean, for the rest of the secrets, you need to book a call with Jeff. So, and where are your laptop coming from wholesale prices? Like Jeff mentioned that he has a whole vendor list where you can go through on which products you can buy from which vendor. So yeah, I'm gonna skip that one. Uh, what are your projections for 2022? If you'd like to share, if you're a little skeptical, that's okay. Because
I mean, things are still up in the air. I think everybody's taken a little bit of a hit due to the recession. I think that our store has compensated for that pretty well overall. I've seen a lot of stores go out of business. I've seen a lot of stores that are really struggling this year because of inflation and recession and things like that. And it hasn't been necessarily easy for us as well, because we've had to cost of everything has gone up. Employee costs have gone up, but yet you can't raise your prices that much, So, but so to say what we're going to be at is hard to say at this point because we haven't had Black Friday yet and we haven't had Christmas yet. And those are the two biggest things of the entire year for us. So we've been, fairly on track with where we were last year. But last year was not a typical year either because that was like COVID and everything was a little bit blown out of proportion. Everybody was buying. Everybody was spending more than they actually had. They were buying things on credit, maxing out everything because they, were quarantined and unhappy and had expendable money from the government and everything else. So it was extremely easy to make sales last year. This year, it hasn't been quite as easy to make sales. You have to be a lot more strategic about it. You have to advertise a lot more in better ways. And you have to focus on repairs a little bit more because in a recession, sales go down and repairs go back up because people want to save money. So they'll try and repair their device instead of buying a new one or whatever. So you have to focus on that. So we've kind of shifted our focus this year a little bit back more towards repairs and how can we maximize and do as many repairs as possible? And how can we advertise the device that we have for sale in better ways and new ways? So we've learned more about the recession and it's hard to say where we're going to be. But I hope that we're going to be on track with last year as far as that goes. But we'll have a lot better knowing of that after Black Friday and Christmas is usually the best month of the year. I mean, December, is after Black Friday, like the gates open and then everybody's like, we want to buy everything and you want to have everything in stock and you want to advertise it all because that's when you can really start making some sales.
Yeah. And Lyle from Lab Repair, the Lab Repair, he's based out of Illinois. He's asking, do you have the same business hours or, do you have extended business hours for Black Friday and the entire week?
Yeah, that's a good question. In the past, we used to do extended hours and what we learned is that didn't work very well because it burned out the whole team very quickly because like I said before, we're maxed out completely. So to give us the amount of customers that you would give us an entire month and put it in one day for the employees and then extend their hours on top of that is almost like you just can't do that. Like we've done it. It just was not a good experience, a good thing in my opinion. So we keep the same hours. And it's worked out fine for us. So I think that people will come when they know that you're open. So as long as you have reasonable hours, don't open at noon or so.
All right. So one of the questions from Theron is, and I believe this will be the last question we should take. So you can go and start preparing for November 26th. You still have 14 days left. Do you just accept credit card or do you accept cryptocurrency for payments as well?
We haven't gotten into crypto yet. We just pretty much do cards and financing, cash, obviously. But if that's something that you're into, why not? But it's just not something I've really looked into much. So.
Yeah, I don't believe in crypto as well. I believe, FTX exchange, the second largest exchange, just announced bankruptcy, and Bitcoin is down, I believe, 30%. So I won't recommend going down that route. Focus on growing your existing business. Because things are looking slightly rough. Focus on getting more repairs. Increasing your brand awareness, working with the community, sponsoring the local community, and be part of that community so people know that you exist, you do a good job, and your presence online, be it your website, your social media, Google My Business. Try to be more proactive. Set out 1 hour to learn about digital marketing, and post. And try to post regularly over there. Looks like we have one more. So yeah, I mean, I believe that's it. On RepairDesk, and we will be launching a campaign for Black Friday on November 16. Stay tuned, guys. Very excited, and my colleague can also share a link with everyone that what we'll be bringing on for our new customers and existing customers. I will share a link with you. Visit that page on November 16, and hopefully you'll find something good. Even if you don't, that's okay. We'll make you happy. And thank you so much, Jeff. I hope this was helpful for our community. I learned a lot about how you're doing Black Friday, and really happy on all the progress you have made. And thank you so much for all the feedback you have given us for the past few years, that has helped us improve our software and serve you better. I hopefully maybe next year during the Black Friday, I'm able to visit your store, get free airpods. I have two. I mean, I have two pairs, but one has one missing airport, and I'm so cheap that I cannot buy. I don't want to buy the missing airport, but yeah, I mean, thank you so much. It was fun. Always a pleasure to talk to you, and hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much. Have a good.
Hey, well, thank you, Usman. I really appreciate you and everything that you guys do. Thanks for everybody who tuned in too. Hope to talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye now.
All right. Bye.